Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Simmons, a teaching fellow at the University of Leeds. So far, you've been through many relevant areas of a business plan and the opportunity business model. Now that you have the foundations in place, I'm going to introduce you to some ideas around what types of funds can be raised in order to get your business up and running, where these sources can be found, and a little on what investors are really looking for. Generally speaking, when someone starts a new venture, they usually finance their business by borrowing capital or raising investment. There are three ways of raising finance for your new venture. The 3 F's, which we refer to borrowing money from family, friends, or financing your new venture yourself. Often founders will first use their own finances for their new venture, either the entire amount or sometimes just a percentage. This is often a very attractive practice, mostly because it allows them to continue to control their business in the direction they want to go and the ability to start out the way that they want with little debt. While this could give founders more flexibility, it can also be very expensive. For example, high interest rates could lead to large personal debts, which if not handled properly could lead to large financial penalties and the downgrade of your credit score. In the final 2 F's, entrepreneurs will also look to family and friends. Sometimes this is useful because they may give you the money for free, or most likely they will let you borrow the money. While this does have its advantages, money can drive a wedge between friends and family, tearing apart the relationship. So think carefully about who you borrow from and what effects this might have on you personally, in addition to what effects this may have on your new venture. When considering more formal types of finance, entrepreneurs typically go to banks to borrow money or look to raise equity by selling shares. But first, let's talk about banks. The plus side to borrowing from a bank is that they typically do not care about having a share or say in your business, but instead they get their returns by charging interest. An entrepreneur can use unsecured as well as secured borrowing. Unsecured borrowing means you are given a loan based on your credit worthiness. Typically, entrepreneurs will use this for small to medium amounts of credit, with the most popular form being company credit cards. Alternatively, there's secured borrowing, where you are borrowing money against your assets, which could be anything from property to equipment and machinery that you or your company already owns. Apart from secured and unsecured borrowing, a new venture could also look to sell equity in their company to raise these funds. Equity is basically selling shares. So for example, a business can be established as a limited company which allows equity or shares to be sold to external investors. This could be an individual or even a firm who gives you funds for having a stake in your company. Now that we've gone through some types of available financing, I'd like to briefly go over where these types of finances can be found, because there are many options, but the most common include banks, which I've already discussed a lot already, so I won't go into too much more. Only just to say that it's good to keep in mind that many national governments work with banks to help support new ventures and small businesses. And because it's a service they're providing, it's best to form a relationship with the bank. So it's worth investing some time meeting with different banks and asking friends and family about their experiences. There are also business angels. These are wealthy individuals who want to invest their own money through buying shares in businesses. In addition to money, they can also provide new ventures with experience, skills, and contacts, 3 key components to effectively growing any business. They may invest from small to large sums. However, it can be difficult to find the right business angel because they often look for opportunities in very specific industries or sectors, and building a solid relationship with them can be just as important, if not more important, than the finance they can offer. There are also venture capitalists who are a great source of private equity, much like business angels, but they deal with much larger sums of money. Every venture capitalist is different, but often they want a minimum 20% stake in your company and will want to exit, so make their money by selling back their shares when they're ready to leave, typically within a few years. New to this arena is crowdfunding, also known as kickstarting. The idea has helped many charities, independent films, and other projects and businesses to get started. It works differently across countries, but basically it's a collection of people, either individuals, clubs, organizations, usually over the internet, who each invest small amounts of money, which can then equal to a large share for the company. Typically, there's a website or crowdfunding platform online where you can put details of your business, how much you're looking to raise, and usually what that person or company might get in return for investing in your business. Often, entrepreneurs may face hurdles when trying to raise capital for a new venture. However, there are still many avenues available to get a business up and running. From the informal, such as personal savings and borrowing, friends and family, to the more formal avenues like bank loans, raising equity, and even crowdfunding nowadays. Each of these types of capital will have their strengths and weaknesses, and whether you decide to use just one source of funding or all of the sources mentioned today, I hope this video has given you a few insights into how capital can be financed for a new venture. This video has introduced a variety of different types of funding and where to find it, but I would like to hear from you. What kind of funds do you think would help your new venture and why?